Yes, people, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Saturday. I'm skipping days, man. I'm skipping days. Happy Saturday. International break. Man United players are away on international duty, but the news keeps rumbling on. And this one, as you can tell by the thumb, caught my eye. It caught my eye. Yeah. Mbeumo. Yeah. Shout out expressions on that one. It was nasty work, but actually, kind of see it. I kind of see it. But Mbeumo, Mbeumo, etc. Brian Mbeumo to Man United. And this is off the back of a story that Ekram Kona's done. Now, Ekram Kona's a bit of a weird one because he kind of burst onto the scene as like not a transfer guru, but in the know, a transfer guy, kind of got a load of followers really quickly. And then we didn't really hear from him. And recently he's kind of popped up with some stories with caught offside as well. He's been all over the Osman situation with Rasmus Højlund and a swap deal there. But this one caught my eye, and it's more so international break. It's interesting to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And obviously the Mbeumo link. And it goes as follows. It says, actually, let me pull that up. Where is it? Hold on, wait a minute. Arsenal and Man United are among the clubs eyeing a potential move, summer move for Brian Mbeumo. However, the strongest interest may well be coming from Newcastle United, with that they'll be willing to pay Brentford's £50 million asking price for the player. And that's the thing, £50 million price tag. We spoke about this. When was this now? Was this on the Trinity? Was it on the Trinity? I think it might have been on the Trinity because he's got a year left in the summer. And we sort of said, actually, no, it was a live show. I think it was me and Owen yesterday morning. And we said, what would be a fair price for Mbeumo if you wanted him, if you wanted to get him in? A lot of people said 40 million with a year left. Apparently, Brentford want 50. Now, it'll probably be something in between that. If you're looking at suitors, could Man United do with him? Could we use him? Would he be good for us? Would that be the sort of player that we would be looking at? In my opinion, absolutely yes. Why not? He plays off the right, plays wide right, can play up front, but in one of them 2-10 positions, Mbeumo, absolutely no problem. I don't think we'd buy him to be a right wing back, but as one of the 10s, 100%. Is that what Ruben's looking at? I don't know. It's about the adaptation of the player. We've seen Garnacho, natural wide player, and now he's playing in the inside 10s. He's starting to improve. He's gone from left 10 to right 10 as well. And there's a lot of moments where what we've learned in this Ruben system is that you could be an inside 10, but he will adapt for your skill set. Garnacho spends a lot of time still wide right, starting from, I know he starts from inside to out, but the transitions of when to go wide to receive the ball, to basically be in a position like you would be if he was playing a 3. I've started to understand that more about Ruben's system. The more we've learned it, the more the players have adapted to it. So if we got Mbeumo as a sort of inside 10, he wouldn't necessarily stay central. He'd still have that wide running ability, that wide sort of positioning. So I don't mind that. But it's just the money, innit? 50 M's. If they do want 50 M's or 45 plus 5 or 40 plus some add-ons or something, could we afford that? Wouldn't be the worst. I don't think that's a crazy amount of money to pay for a player of the quality of Brian Mbeumo. But you hear that there. You look at Newcastle United. You look at Arsenal. Arsenal need just a bunch of forwards. They need not just Alexander Isak or just a 9. They need better quality all over. So they'd be all over that. Why would he not want to go there? You got to look at Liverpool. That wasn't mentioned. You know, what's going to happen with Salah? If he goes, you could easily see them going for someone like Brian Mbeumo who'd fit the bill there. It's no real obvious like-for-like replacement for Mo Salah. And then you look at Newcastle United, and they're probably the ones who need him the most. Jacob Murphy has done brilliantly on the right-hand side today. He used to be Miguel Almiron. That kind of faded out a little bit. You've had Harvey Barnes out there a few times with Gordon on the left. So they need a top right winger. They tried to get Elanga in the January window. That didn't work out. So yeah, I could see them probably going for him, and that would actually be a perfect move. But would I take Mbeumo? Of course. Listen, he's direct, he's strong, he's quick. We've seen him play enough times against our team and in this league. I've seen him plenty of times away at Brentford when I've gone to them games, and at Old Trafford. The last game that was me and Expressions was going at it, and anyhow Mbeumo that day would have like rinsed us. I'd have been in trouble. But that day, I think we beat Brentford. Martin has actually had Mbeumo in his pocket that day. But listen, Mbeumo's on to us. He's on to most people he plays against. He's a very good player. the Cameroon international. I like him. And it looks like he's older than he is. He's one of them guys here. He looks like he's older than he is. I think he's only like 25. So what are we wouldn't turn our nose down, or I wouldn't turn my nose up, sorry, at that type of quality, really. I just think it's unlikely. I think there's a lot of other suitors that would have a better shot of getting him than us. That's what I would say. Which, to be honest though, things can change if we get Champions League. Things can change. Not that Mbeumo's in it anyway, but you probably want to play in it because Newcastle might not get Champions League. It's very, very close. So that's not the be all and end all. Things can change. Actually, Mbeumo represents someone that is kind of attainable, but there'll be a lot of people after his signature. And Brentford do have to sell him this summer. They can't get to the situation they had with Ivan Toney when the clock's running down. There's only 6 months left, etc., etc. They need to get to that situation now, right? So I think that he'll be on the move this summer, and you got Newcastle, maybe Liverpool, Arsenal at the table, like Ekron Kona says, and of course maybe someone like ourselves. I don't mind. Like Bradley's onto something when he's saying get players from the league, that are experienced, get players from the league that know the league, have been successful in the league and have scored goals in the league in terms of forwards anyway. You know what I mean? Of course, midfielders and defenders, if they've played in the league, great. But I don't think we should underestimate that, being able to play in the Premier League. You kind of have that you don't have that worry that, are they going to make it? Are they going to be okay adapting to the pace, the physicality, the intensity of the Premier League? In Mbeumo, I'm all over that. If we could find a way to get in Mbeumo, I'm all for it. But the number one priority has to be a striker. It has to be. So Ekron Kona is also talking about the situation on court off. It's on court offside as well. Big outlet saying about there's been rumors and talks that Rasmus, and Napoli, Man United and Napoli are discussing a swap deal between Rasmus and Osimhen, and that's a little, I'm not gonna say boring. It's been rumbling on the last few days. We know that there's reports about that. Ekron Kona has gone one further to say that talks have begun. I'm not so sure about that. It's very, very early, but it basically looks like it works for all parties. So it's an easy story to be talking about. Osimhen has fallen out of favor at Napoli. It seems to have broken down there. He got an emergency move to Galatasaray this year, where he's been killing it. His wage demands could be a little bit different. Napoli supposedly want Rasmus. Played in Serie A just before he came to us at Atalanta. It could be a good way financially, because obviously we can't sell Rasmus for a lot of money because of what we bought him for versus where he is now. We're not getting anywhere near that 60-odd million, but it could be used as a bargaining chip to bring Osimhen's price down. Plus, he don't want to be there. So I don't know. I think the striker is the main thing. And Mbeumo, though, I'm here for it. Quick update on Aiden Heaven as well, Manchester Evening News. And shout out Laurie Whitwell, and a few others have been saying this over the last couple of days, but a little bit stronger. So Man United have been handed an injury boost with the news that Aiden Heaven's injury is not thought to be serious. The teenager was forced off against Leicester. La-di-da-di-da. It says the 18-year-old posted a message, which we also know. Manchester Evening News understands that Heaven is now out of his protective boot and has a chance of resuming training after the international break. United don't have a fixture until they face Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night on the 1st of April, potentially giving the former Arsenal man enough time to recover. I'll tell you what, if he's back, because, obviously you've got a couple of weeks, and I think since that Leicester game to now would be like 3 weeks, wouldn't it? Where's my calendar? Can we break my calendar up? Oh, I've not even opened this app before. I usually Google Calendar. So we played Leicester on last week's Sunday, innit? That was it, 22nd, so 16th, 23rd, 30th. That's 2 weeks. So 2 and a bit weeks. Yeah, it'd be 2 and a bit weeks before the next game. So if he could train and recover and get back on the grass, obviously probably be too soon, you would think, for the Tuesday night game against Forest, having been injured. That's fine, but what we're talking about is at least it's a matter of weeks instead of months, and that is music to our ears, because I think Lenny Yoro could be back, Harry Maguire could be back by then. Sure, we don't count, and Johnny Evans he's been injured for ages. Johnny Evans don't count. So if we can get him back and playing again, it will be a massive, massive plus for for the Europa League run in and just the amount of games that we've got to play before now and the end of the season in the league, just to get confidence back, man. So positive news on Aiden Heaven. But Mbeumo, Fleck Mbeumo, I'm having him. If we can make the deal happen, go get it. Go make it happen. I'm out of it. Smash a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace.